Every job that we do is like my mother's house. How many mothers do you get? Sometimes you get two. Very rare. She's my stepmom, but she's like my mom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Caliber8 Tools Spotlight Edition, where we showcase individuals and businesses in the community doing great things. Work on it like it's your mother's house. That's what Philip Walker of Vader Air Conditioning and Heating just said. And he couldn't have said it any better than that. Let's see what else he has to say right after this.
Hi, I'm Philip Walker with Vader Air Conditioning and Heating. Just want to let you know that we're part of your neighborhood. I've been doing air conditioning for 45 years. Started out, went out straight out of high school into the United States Air Force, and I was an age mechanic at that time. I worked on heavy equipment, air conditioning, bomb lifts, start carts, generator sets, hydraulic sets, test stands. So I got out of there, was a mechanic, and I ended up working for the RTD, Southern California Rapid Transit District, as a diesel mechanic, and I was doing a lot of air conditioning on the transit buses there. And I left that, and eventually I got on at the city of Norwalk as a superintendent of equipment maintenance. I got into the air conditioning business. I was living at home. I was in the 10th grade trying to figure out my exit strategy to get out of my dad's house. It was in Longshoreman, and those guys were just really tough and mean. So I said, man, I got to get out of this place. So I signed myself up into the United States Air Force. I tested to become a mechanic, and I didn't know I was going to be in a flight line in a mechanical squadron, so that's what I was doing. And so I got out of there, and after I got out of the Air Force, then I got a job as a diesel mechanic working for the Caliber8 Services, a pretty big company. And after that, then I moved around and got a job with the Roadway Express as a diesel mechanic, and then I eventually got on with Southern California Rapid Transit District, or as they call rough, tough, and dirty. And I got on with them, and I was there for about 13 years, got laid off, and eventually I got on with the city of Norwalk as the superintendent of equipment maintenance. And from there, working there was just crazy. It was like working at the Trump White House. Why do I say it was like working at the Trump White House? Working for the city, it was crazy town, just the high pressure, craziness going on. People, it was giving me high blood pressure. So I said, man, I got to get out of this place. So after 5.5 years, I left. I sold my house, one of my houses up there in La Mirada, and bought my first truck. And after my first truck, I was doing insurance work because nobody knew who we were. And I got to really get good because you either do the job right or you go back for free. You just have to be better at what you're doing. So then I got certifications, because being a person of color, you have to be certified. If you're an Anglo-American, it's granted to you that you know what you're doing. But if you're a person of color, you got to prove it. So that's why I got all the credentials, and the credentials are wearing my uniform. The one on my shirt right here cost me $2,700 to take that test. And these other ones are $100 a pop. And there are 18 of them, and I only have 4 on my shirt sleeve. So credentials mean everything, because it's a certification that you know what you're doing. Concerning my credentials, people don't understand, but the credentials mean a lot, and they intimidate a lot of other air conditioning guys that don't have the credentials. I happen to be in the store getting parts, and I'm just waiting, and this Anglo guy walks up to me, younger guy walks up to me, he says, who'd you buy your patches from? And I said, what? Yeah, who'd you buy your patches from? And I was scratching my head trying to figure that out, and I couldn't understand it. So I got my parts and I left, and I was in my truck driving away, and I said, oh, that's what he meant. Because I'm a person of color, I'm not smart enough to get these patches because he wasn't. So if I had them, that means that I had to pay. I bought it from somebody and put them on my uniform. But if I did that, what's the benefit? It doesn't prove that I know anything. I'm just a fake. But I don't think the guy really knew how old I was. I was a Vietnam War veteran, and I worked in a mechanical squadron. I wasn't on the front lines fighting. I was in a squadron working on air conditioning, generator sets, hydraulic test stands, and I don't think he knew that I was that old. But I was really surprised, and I was just really surprised that somebody would take that attitude, and I was just shocked, truly shocked. I just had a reality check and the reason why I got the credentials is to prove that I know what I'm talking about. But I had the military experience to back it up. Well, a lot of guys are just getting into it. I don't know how they get started, whatever, but I started straight out of high school. I've been doing this for 45 years. And you got to get good or die or perish or go out of business. So we're still in business. I've been doing this. I've been doing air conditioning for 45 years. The industry, the HVAC industry, or heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. That's what HVAC stands for. So the industry itself is sprouting up. There's such a high demand for air conditioning and heating. It seems like people got their pandemic money or they've been saving it or whatever. And we never shut down during the pandemic. We were still operating because people still have their air conditioned inside their homes since we're locked into their house. So people are spending money to make their environment more habitable and friendly. So they're spending their money towards that. Now the HVAC industry is steadily growing, and every year technology increases. Every year we go to the international show to find out what's available, what changes in AC. They have air conditioning now that's very efficient. The ductless ACs are inverter driven, and they operate at 40% less than a central air system. So you can save money. They last for 12 years minimum. Well, the warranty on them is 12 years. And they'll last 15, 20, 30 years. But the warranty is for 12 years. So the HVAC industry is steadily growing and expanding. Right now, we're looking for ex-military who did air conditioning in the service. Any branch, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, or Coast Guard. I'm a little bit biased towards the Air Force, but we'll take anybody. Okay, the air conditioning industry, it requires the technicians to be licensed. They must have a 608 universal refrigeration license. And some of the equipment we use is right here. You can see my truck here. You can see we have a hand truck. We have a portable workbench. We have digital gauges right here. That's all we use is digital. We don't use the analog gauges anymore because the charges have to be exact. So everything is digital. And we have a vast amount of tools. We have a bag of handful tools here. We have all kind of cutting tools, hammers, drills, you name it, thermometers, special valves, electrical junction tools, bypass tools, Allen wrenches, everything. We try to have as much as we can. Multimeter, we have multimeters, we have big wrenches, we have knee pads, we have heavy duty hammers, we have pipe wrenches, we have sheet metal tools, sawzall blades, and everything. And here we have, this is where we keep all my little minor stuff here. Screws, gas fittings, copper fittings. We do welding, electrical. You can't be an AC tech without doing electrical. We have impact drivers. And let me show you what here in the back of the truck here. We have a portable oxygen acetylene welding kit. We have a vacuum pump to pull a vacuum because you can't have air in an air conditioning system or it won't cool. We have a leak detector. We have a vacuum pump here. We have refrigerant. We have refrigerant recovery tanks, 410 refrigerant, R22 replacement refrigerant. We carry nitrogen to check for leaks. There's a larger oxygen acetylene kit. We have all kinds of tools. We have a backup jump pad in case the truck was bad. We even carry a vacuum cleaner to clean up after we work in somebody's house. We have battery chargers. Most of our tools are battery driven. We do have electric. We have magnet gauges to check for air pressure. We have spare parts, digital ECM boards. These are like $1,100 a pop to replace them. So we carry an assortment of 1,100 boards. We carry digital thermostats, and we even carry the Nest thermostat. Is what we put into all houses after we do an air conditioning system. We give the clients a Nest thermostat that you can control by your phone. We're fully equipped. We have full supplies. We have insulation, we have PVC pipe, we have EMT conduit, we have spare copper over here. We have acid cleaner to clean your evaporator coil. We have cleaner to wash off grease smudges after we get to working on your white walls or things like that. We have air filters that we put in there, or air fresheners we put in your system so your house, when you turn your AC on, it's smelling good like cherries. We carry everything. We're fully stocked when we roll to a site. And here are the batteries we have. These are the batteries that we carry. They last about an hour or two, so I like to be over-prepared. I don't like to be short on anything. So these are all the tools and equipment, supplies, and parts. We even carry booties so we don't track dirt into your house. We have the best. We have thermal imagers, something like with Predator with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. And the Predator had that vision. That's what this camera does. We can see heat with this camera. Yeah, so here's a camera right here. And here it is. I'm powering up the camera now, and you can see my hand. You can see the heatness, and right here the corner tells you what the temperature is in my hand. Thermal imager is really nice. You can see leaks. You can see temperature differences in the wall. You can actually see the air coming out of your register. This is a very important tool. This is PVC fittings for when we put a condensation drain line. Drain line condensation, we have a bunch of 90s. You can't do a job without 90s. We have couplings here that we can connect short pieces to long pieces. We have thread sealant, so for the threaded parts of the PVC, so you don't have any water leaks leak inside your house. We have start capacitors called hard starts. When your capacitor gets old, instead of replacing it, we can put this on your compressor and it will start the compressor up. Miniature torch here for welding or soldering wires together. We just have a bunch of chemicals, and we also have other electrical parts. We carry circuit breakers. We carry wire replacements for the repair compressors so you don't have to replace it. We even have contactors and transformers. This is a dual purpose contactor. This is a 3-phase contactor. So this contactor, what it does, it connects, it's actually a switch, a heavy duty switch is what a contactor is. So we carry these, we carry circuit breakers, we even carry light bulbs. When we put an AC system in your attic, we'll put a light in there so you can see. We carry all kinds of electrical to it. We even carry the light base. We put an overhead light or a switch box. And this is a switch box for outside electrical. So we carry a lot of equipment. Down here you see spare blower motors for your condenser fan. We have condensation pumps to move the water out your house if the unit is below and we have to pump it up into the ceiling. We have all kinds of equipment. If somebody wants to get into HVAC, heating, venting, air conditioning, you have to be good at electrical, and it all depends on your intellect. And if you can understand the principle, then you'll be good at electrical. And I understood the principle. I took electricity when I was in high school. If you want to be an HVAC technician, then you have the first module is usually 8 modules. It could be more, but the very first module is electricity. They teach you about the theory of electricity, electrons, neutrons, what electricity really is, how it flows through a wire. They give you examples so you can have some kind of concept of understanding how electricity is. So, and you always wear gloves when you do an electrical. I carry my gloves with me. These are electrical proof gloves, but I tell my guys, always glove up. And if I see one of my guys working without gloves doing electricity, then I will admonish him, because we can't have anybody getting electrocuted on the job site. It's very, very important. So this is the office. This is Vader Air Conditioning and Heating's office. This is the desk of my office assistant. She's very, very good at what she does. She helps us out. She answers all the phone calls. She does proposals. She does a whole lot of things. And this is this is my partner, which happens to be my wife. She is very, very good. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be where we are right now. She does the background, finance, money, management, marketing, all that. And this is my office desk where I work at. This is where I do my things here, 2 computers. And I don't spend a whole lot of time here because I'm mostly out in the field working with my guys, trying to train them up. My job here is to give my guys show them all the knowledge and everything that I have, so I can create a bunch of mini-me's. I have no problem. There's no pride in it, but I'm open to it. If they have a better way of doing something, I will listen, because I'm not the sum total of all knowledge, and I understand that. So we work as a team. Even the newest guy we hire, if he has a suggestion, I want to hear it, because it'd be a better way. And it's all about efficiency and doing the job right. Just like when I was in the Air Force, you either do it right or they're going to court-martial you, straight out. So I had that same mindset when we're doing it. When we're at somebody's house, I tell people, work on this house like it's your mother's house. I tell the guy, I said, wouldn't you be upset if somebody did something wrong to your mother's house? Wouldn't you be ready to fight? So have that same attitude when you're at somebody's house. Just treat it like it's your mother's house. If you have that same attitude, you'll do the job right. And you won't have any problems. So I'm out there trying to get them to that level there. And so we're working on that. So here's the shop, Vader Air Conditioning Shop. We're a small company. We have 4 trucks. This is the brake area, and this is brake area part learning section. Because here we are, we have a couple of dry erase mark boards. We have a big screen TV for training. So we do a lot of training here. That's my big thing, is training, like when I was in the Air Force. So here we go, we have a little minor break station here for food and water and vegetables and fruit and things like that. This is the lead man's desk right here. This is where my lead sits. He has his own computer. Nice comfort chair there, although he's hardly there, but he still has a desk. Here's, these are our trucks. This is the lead truck. We're just getting it ready for him. This is a new truck for him. So we're just getting it ready, outfitted for him. Over here is a lot of liquid supplies that we have, all kind of things, roof patch things. And here we are, we have equipment that is still good, used equipment that I checked out, and we can reuse it eventually. And so we're gonna come over here. So these are the other 2 trucks we have. And here's our sheet metal. We have sheet metal up here that we carry to connect all the ducts up with. Reducers, pant-wise, plenums, all kind of things like that. And then we have over here, we have leftover copper line sets to connect the coil to the evaporator. Then we have electrical here, all kinds. We use 8-gauge wire to hook up your condenser to the electrical service panel. This is heavy cable because it conducts heavy amounts of amperage, electrical amperage. Then we have here, this is the new jobs bench here, where equipment, jobs that we're getting ready to do. This is for a client's house. This new furnace we have here that's going to somebody's place. This is a new condenser here. This is a state-of-the-art condenser here. It's all-in-one AC system, coil and condenser, a 3/4 ton, and has 2 vents on the side. Air goes in, air comes out, self-complete. And so here we have our storage bin, our storeroom, or whatever parts. So we keep a couple extra things. We keep thermostats. We have coil spray, spare compressor, in case one of the guys' vacuum pumps goes bad. We have spare drop cloths. We always put drop cloths in people's houses when we go in. We have all kind of equipment here. Thermostats, pumps. We have spare refrigerant here. And this is spare tools here. We have all our spare tools or things that we just can't throw away. We have digital gauges. We have all kind of cutting tools, everything that you can imagine. We keep it locked up so to be able to control it. And here's a spare furnace that we use for training. We train our guys on this. This is one we pulled out of somebody's house. So I fixed this up, and when we hire new guys, I test them on this equipment to make sure that they know what they're doing. So we don't send somebody out to somebody's house and they mess up or something. We train them and we test them here on this equipment. Over here is our workshop bench, work area, bench area. You can see I'm a little cluttered. Means we're busy, but we have all kinds of equipment. We have charging stations up there. We have a pump that we overhauled. We have just all kind of things laying around. We have chargers. We have a vacuum pump there. We have a cutting tool. We have a light here that's on charge. We even have welding. We actually do heliarc welding. This does everything. Stick weld, heliarc, and stick welding. Helmet, I learned that in the Air Force also. Then here we have a blaster. This is where we check your house for leaks. We can pressurize your house because technically your house is not supposed to have any more than 6% air loss. And most people's houses today have 30% or more. There's an old condenser that we pulled out of someone's house and it's still good. So we pulled this out. We gave them a new one because it had a problem. I repaired it, and they just wanted to go with a new unit. So we gave them a new unit, but it's still a good used unit. So we keep this in case somebody wants to use unit at a reduced price. And that's our shop here at Vader Air Conditioning and Heating. 3,000 square foot shop, and we are good to go. We've been in business for 16 years and still going strong. Concerning the job doing air conditioning and heating, or HVAC is what it's called, the hardest part is you're managing people. You're managing people who have different personalities. And so you have to be able to understand that so you can work with them. And after that, another difficult part is I actually design air conditioning. Every job we do, when we put an air conditioning system in the house, I design it. It's not just throw something. I have to design it to make sure that the airflow is right, that the system will properly remove heat, will properly have air at all the outlets. So I actually have to design that, and that takes a little brain power. And so barring those two things, I love doing air conditioning and heating because it's something that I know. I've learned it in a young state of my age, a young state of my being on this planet. And I'm not working at the city of Norwalk, I shouldn't have said that, but it was a straight out pressure all the time. But I enjoy doing work or putting in a system, and I think of it as a work of art, like a painting, because no job that I do is the same. Every house is different. And when I do that and I walk away and people are happy, that makes me feel good inside. So I have that little personal satisfaction that actually made somebody's living environment easy to live in.
What's there not to like about Philip? Not only is he the consummate professional, he loves what he does, he loves people, he loves his community. Hey guys, if you appreciate getting to know the unsung heroes of our community, hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to share as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.